From the KFDI News Center, this is a severe thunderstorm warning.
Severe thunderstorm warning for Sedgwick County until 1 o'clock, but this line of activity pushing out of Sedgwick now on people in southern Butler County and Cowley County need to be watching out for this with some heavy rain and possibly some winds. Had a report of a 69-mile-an-hour wind gust at Jabera Airport in northeast Wichita with these storms that are moving through the area. So Sedgwick County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 1 o'clock, and 60-mile-an-hour winds appear to be the main threat. We've had some power outages reported by Evergy, as we mentioned a moment ago, around 400 customers in the Derby area without power around K15 and Patriot. And we've also got some other outages now, it looks like in the McConnell Air Force Base area in southeast Wichita. Very scattered outages that we're seeing around south and southeast Wichita, and even some north of Kellogg. Very scattered, most of them south of Kellogg into south and southeast Wichita. And we've had some reports of power lines down throughout the area as we continue to keep track of these storms that are moving on through. Getting an update here.
From the KFDI News Center, this is a tornado warning.
Tornado warning for Butler and Cowley counties that is now being issued, and this looks like it's in southeastern Butler and northeastern Cowley. Let's see if we can check in with Ross Janssen and Storm Team 12.
Yeah, George, we're just getting this information here too. It does sound like that area, and we kind of talked about this about 10 minutes ago. It looks like it's going to be east of Douglas and to the northwest of the town of Atlanta. What we're looking at the present time here is a circulation that may be trying to develop northwest of Atlanta. So that's going to put it right on the Butler-Cowley County line. Again, this interesting, not your classic supercell thunderstorm where the tornado tends to be on the back edge of the storm. This is going to be on the front end of this line of thunderstorms that we were referencing just a little while ago. So for those areas north of Atlanta and east of Douglas, west of Latham, again, this is what could potentially be a brief tornado spin-up that may happen here. This is going to be right on the Butler-Cowley County line. So we do want you to be prepared for the situation there. The tornado warning does not include El Dorado. It does include Atlanta, and it does include areas down toward Leon. So heads up here, this is forming on the front end of a line of storms. Typically in these kinds of scenarios, if you get a brief spin up, it is possible that it's not going to be something that hangs around for too long, but it's something that we do need to continue to watch because it's possible that we could get something that spins up very quickly in this kind of scenario.
Thanks, Ross. We'll continue to keep an eye on this. Again, a tornado warning for northeastern Cowley, southeastern Butler County until 1:15. And we've had strong winds with this line of storms. And again, this storm is near Atlanta and is moving northeast and moving up into the Latham area. Radar indicating rotation, nothing confirmed. But we've had certainly these strong winds, 60 to even 69-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this storm activity. The storm is largely out of Sedgwick County right now and out of Sumner County. Looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua County ahead of this line of storms. We'll have more on that a little bit later. Again, a tornado warning that has been issued for southeastern Butler and northeastern Cowley County until 1:15 with this line of storms moving through the area. Radar is indicating rotation with this storm near Atlanta, and it's moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. The storm picking up speed there. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning box popped up for Elk, Cowley, southern Butler, Chautauqua, and Greenwood counties until 1:45. This is for this line of storms we've been talking about moving through Butler and Cowley counties, and now we'll be pushing on into Greenwood, Elk, and Chautauqua counties. With this line, possibly 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, maybe penny-size hail, but this is more of a wind threat. Let's join Ross Janssen live on Storm Team 12.
We are bringing our listeners on KFDI as we continue to track severe weather across south central Kansas. We do have the tornado warning in effect for southern Butler County down into northern portions of Cowley County. The concern at the time is that we may see a brief spin up on this thunderstorm complex near the Atlanta area. It looks like it's going to be north of Atlanta. Again, no confirmation of anything like that, but the important thing to remember here is that the eyewitness accounts that we usually get aren't going to be there because it's dark. There's a lot of rain. You're just not going to get some of those reports that we rely on. So we are relying heavily on Doppler radar, and the circulation that we're looking at looks to me like it's about 3 or 4 miles to the north of Atlanta. Our storm track, to give you an estimated arrival time: El Dorado, we've got some strong winds that may be coming through here in the next few minutes. Roselia at 102, the Piedmont area at 115, Eureka around 126. We are starting to see a fairly significant wind signature developing on this storm from El Dorado south. Obviously, what's getting our attention of utmost concern is the tornado warning for south central Butler County. The area of concern continues to be north of Atlanta. This is not for El Dorado. The tornado warning that's out is an area that's north of Atlanta to the west of Latham. The best advice that we can give you in this kind of situation, of course, given a nighttime scenario, is that if you live in Latham, if you're north of Atlanta about 3 or 4 miles, move to a place of safety. As a precaution, it doesn't look like this is anything that's going to stay on the ground for a long period of time, but the scenario that is playing out right now in southern Butler County, because it's on the front end of this thunderstorm complex, occasionally from time to time we'll get something that can briefly spin up. We don't expect it to last very long. But again, nighttime tornadoes, these kinds of situations are very dangerous. So again, what areas are in the path of the storm? It's north of Atlanta, right on the Butler-Cowley County line, over toward Latham. Leon, not part of this warning. Roselia, not part of this warning. But it is for the southeast corner of Butler County, where we are seeing a little bit of a spin developing on this front end of the thunderstorm complex off to the southeast of Wichita. Mostly what we're going to get, again, areas south and east of Wichita, the radar continues to show a fairly significant curl. It almost looks like a backward shaped C developing on the radar, and it does cover a large area of Butler County extending down into Cowley County. And on the front end of these thunderstorms, you're going to get some strong winds. We've had confirmation of that across Wichita, and I think we're going to start to see more wind reports. So in advance of these storms, from El Dorado along Highway 54, 400, getting over into Greenwood County, Elk, Chautauqua counties, central and eastern portions of Cowley County, you want to be ready for strong winds, certainly for the next 30 to 45 minutes, even an hour or so. Be prepared for wind gusts that might go up to 60, 65 miles per hour. We continue to stay on the air with a tornado warning that's out for south central Butler County. It does extend down into northern Cowley County as well. Storms are starting to accelerate to the east, close to 35, 40 miles per hour. So just updating you on arrival times here. Dexter at 12:57, the Howard area at 1:20. Also looks like we have Eureka included at 1:25. The threat is a very small area of south central or southeast Butler County, now shifting off to the northeast of the Atlanta area. So that's the situation. It does look like if you've had some strong winds in and around the city of Wichita, things are starting to calm down now that the storms have moved on to the east. And I don't think we're going to see anything else redevelop through the rest of the night. We've had some severe weather up in northern Kansas. That stuff should stay well to our north, and most of what we're looking at here to the east of Wichita now starting to accelerate to the east fairly quickly. So I don't think this is something that's going to hang around for too much longer. But let's go ahead and get back in a little closer. Again, if you're listening to our coverage here on KFDI, we do want to let you know that there continues to be a tornado warning for areas around the Latham vicinity. We have not had any reports of tornadoes in progress. We certainly hope that's not going to be the case as we continue to watch the storms work their way through Latham, the southeast corner now of Butler County. And I will tell you, the wind signature, or the rotating part of this thunderstorm complex that was coming through south central Butler County, now not really looking that impressive. The warning could be canceled here momentarily. With this kind of setup, it's not uncommon to get something that will briefly spin up on the front end of these lines of storms. The ones that we were tracking earlier in the day were more toward the back end of the storm. This is a very different setup. They tend to be on the leading edge of the line of storms more so than at the back end of it. And fortunately, in this kind of scenario here, we wouldn't expect a tornado to touch the ground and stay down for very long. It would be very, very brief. But even what we're seeing now, no longer really looking that significant. The tornado warning no longer in effect for Cowley County. That's just been dropped from the warning. It does continue, though, for southeastern Butler County, including Latham. If you're in the path of the storm, safest thing to do is seek shelter below ground. If that's not an option, put as many walls between you and the approaching storm as you possibly can. You want to stay as far away from windows and doors as you can. and wait for the storm to pass on through. Unlike some of the other storms we had earlier today, it is not going to take very long for the storm to clear the area. They are starting to accelerate to the east, moving much quicker than the storms that we had earlier today. But if you are listening to our coverage in Butler County, it's the area around Latham where we do continue with this potential, emphasis there on potential, that something may briefly spin up. Not a guarantee. We haven't had anything like that reported, but stretching from around El Dorado all the way down into northern Oklahoma, we do have the signature on radar of some strong winds. Sometimes we refer to it as a bow echo, and we're definitely seeing that now across Butler County. So indications are we're dealing with strong winds here on a widespread scale across Butler County. We haven't seen any wind reports that I'm aware of from the El Dorado area, but that may still be coming in as the winds continue to work their way right up the Kansas Turnpike. So if you're with our coverage, whether it be on KFDI or you're watching our coverage here on KWCH 12, we still have this tornado warning for southeastern Butler County. This is a line of thunderstorms, a potential spin up on the front end of it. Not something that's going to be sticking with us for too much longer. These kinds of scenarios here, again, it's not uncommon to maybe briefly get something to spin up, but around Latham is where we're still seeing at least a little bit of that potential tonight. We think eventually the wind is going to take over here and the rain too, and hopefully that will shut down this even remote possibility of something spinning up there in the Latham area. But for the moment, if you're in El Dorado, probably going to get hit with some strong winds. That's certainly a strong possibility, but areas south of there, down into Cowley County, this is all primarily looking like wind, and I think that's eventually what's going to take over here on this storm in the southeast corner of Butler County. But some significant severe weather still unfolding tonight. Areas south and east of Wichita, all of the blue boxes on our radar that are showing up. We've had significant wind reported kind of scattered across Wichita, ranging anywhere from 56 measured winds, that was near Viola, up to 69 mile per hour winds. That was confirmed and measured at the airport, Jabera Airport. That was several minutes ago. The storms have now shifted on to the east. And for those of you that are listening to our coverage on KFDI, what the radar is showing, the northern extent of the storms go about as far north as Cassidy and extend all the way down into northern Oklahoma. Now, the tornado warning for Butler County has just been cleared, so some good news to pass along there. But from El Dorado, Cassidy, the Kansas Turnpike, all the way down into northern Oklahoma, if you're in advance of these storms, the radar would suggest there's still a potential here of winds gusting in excess of 60 miles per hour, and that's why the severe thunderstorm warnings do continue tonight. But at the moment, tornado warning has been dropped for Butler County. Severe thunderstorm warnings do continue, so we are going to end our coverage on KWCH 12. We'll be in and out of the coverage on KFDI with more information as well. Please stay alert, especially south and east of Wichita, for about another 1 to 2 hours, and then we should see the severe weather clearing the area with things calming down for the remainder of the night.
Ross Janssen providing coverage on Storm Team 12. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled for Sedgwick County. Ross just mentioned that the tornado warning for southeastern Butler County has been canceled, but still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southeastern Butler, eastern Cowley, and Greenwood, Elk, and Chautauqua counties as this line of storms pushes on to the east. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more coverage. You're listening to continuous severe weather coverage on KFDI, a service of North Slope Roofing.